Old Fashioned Football on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on football. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use promo code CFBX on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code SCFBX. That's CFBX. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the underdog, pick 'em in college or NFL, and win up to 20 times in one game. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for 100% deposit bonus, and until October 4th, that's good for up to $500. Finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit halloffamebets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today.
Hey, what's up? This is Sam Acho, and you're listening to Old Fashioned Football.
Old-fashioned football.
You make this deal right now, you pancake-eating mother.
All right, deal.
Old-fashioned football.
Welcome to Old Fashioned Football. You can't see our faces. No, you can. I fixed it. Don't worry. It's Thursday night. We're into week 3. And if you're like me, some of your lines are looking a little scary. Your lineups are looking a little scary. But before I keep going, you're probably wondering who you're listening to or who you see if you're just joining us. You can find me on Twitter at JMarkFootball. I keep calling it Twitter when I'm trying to switch to X. Old habits die hard. The X. You can find us on the X at Old Fashioned FB. This is J Mark. And before I keep going, I got to bring in my co-host in life and on the pod. You can call her Miranda, if you want to be formal. You can find her on the X at the Mark. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Justin. It's been a day.
It has been a day.
I'm here. I always say I'm doing great, but then I think, am I doing great? Sure.
Working till the very last second there, swooping in here and ready to talk some fantasy football.
I am.
Are your lineups ready?
Yes, I did set them.
Oh, excellent.
I'm prepared.
Shout out to the chat. Cody Z, my favorite show. Oh gosh, thanks, Cody.
You're making me blush.
That's right. Nick Fortune, let's go. I remember to use PG words because I don't want to owe Justin another $1. You don't owe me $1.
Your
nephew $1. We are trying to clean it up.
Jar.
Yeah, we try to clean it up because we found out he is watching. And
we might have gotten scolded.
Yeah, yeah, we did. Nick Schwenk, 2-0. Let's go. Someone pour me some whiskey. We got Heaven's Door behind us. Just a reminder, that's what we drank. Sorry, I kind of jumped the gun there. I was gonna kick that to you, but it seemed like a perfect time.
Stealing my whiskey from
me.
What
did we drink? And what's the significance of it?
The significance of it?
Yeah, like who makes it?
Okay.
Well, I guess I don't know if he makes it.
So on Monday's episode, we were drinking. Well, we reviewed 3 whiskeys from Heaven's Door, the trio of whiskeys right behind us. It is Bob Dylan. He co-created it.
Yeah, the Bob man, hence the name Heaven's Door, I guess.
Yes.
If that didn't give it away, I got a couple videos that I pulled because I'm kind of liking bringing some fun videos to the beginning of our show.
You always, and I never know what you're gonna throw out there, so I'm always like, I don't know how this is gonna turn out.
It's a surprise for you too. First of all, if this is how you're feeling about your fantasy football team, it's okay. It's early. It's only week 3. Some of us are 0-2 in the listener league.
We are. We really butchered this. We are. If any of our,
I believe I said stop bidding on Patrick Mahomes, but
I have no regrets. Not even a player. I have regrets. This draft was awful for us. We did not do teamwork well.
No, we didn't.
We should have strategized together instead of going in with our own strategies. Like we really missed the mark there. And
we are the marks. So
I
how
know.
embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. But no, if you are in our listener league and you're listening right now, we are open to trades.
Well,
let's trade.
Jared was ready to trade, but we need to send Jared an offer, or we need to let people know who's on the trade block. So we really need to sit down and look at that.
I cannot trade Mahomes or Kelsey.
Well, then we don't have much else to offer. That's the unfortunate part.
Okay, fine. We need to look. We need to get on the same page. So I
Yeah,
guess my
agreed.
husband and I will get on the same page, and then we're going to be looking to dish out some trades.
Anyways, if you're 0-2, I just wanted to play this for you.
Yeah, just pain. It was pain everywhere. So we got to keep on pushing through and being resilient.
Yeah, it's just pain. It's pain everywhere. But keep on pushing through. Be resilient, just like Jameis Winston said. And there's a lot of injuries. So
Pain everywhere is real.
You might be rolling into your lineups like this. And I have some lineups that are exactly like that, unfortunately. But I mean, it is what it is, right?
It is. And it's only week 3. It's too early yet to know how you can turn it around. It's never too late.
Nick would like to know what we are trading. Mom likes the videos. I got a couple more that I'll play right after this, but let's talk a little bit about this trade we heard. Speaking of trading.
Oh my gosh. There was some crazy news this week.
There was some crazy news.
Cam Akers, for those of you who have shares in Akers, which I have multiple, he was traded to Minnesota.
Yeah, he's talked up all off season by McVay and then traded, and rumors swirling. Now, they're not true, but people are putting funny rumors out there that Akers had a thing for McVay's wife and all that. It's not true, but it's fun to speculate that. He is reunited with his previous offensive coordinator. He was traded to Minnesota, of course, conditional picks. In 15 games last year, he had 188 carries, 786 yards, including, I think he finished the last 3 games with over 100 yards, also had 7 rushing touchdowns. So overall, it's not great. He's got these games where he's like, I mean, week 1 this year, he ran 22 times for 29 yards. Not good. I mean, I feel like I could fall over that far. That's like getting the average of Bryce Young per carry. I don't know if you heard on the main show, but Bryce Young, if he laid on the football field, he doesn't even stretch 2 yards.
Okay.
Anyways, no words.
So
huh?
my immediate thoughts on this trade is Cam Akers gonna be fantasy relevant still? How does this impact Alexander Mattison? Are people like, what are you doing, Justin? Are you rostering Cam Akers to see what happens? Are you not wasting the roster space?
I'm keeping him for now in the leagues I have him, just to see what that shakes out like. But I don't see him having a huge fantasy value unless there's injuries. However, I do think he's going to be annoying enough for Alexander Mattison managers to not like that trade was put through.
So yeah, I'm sitting back and gonna see how this shakes out.
Yes. Yeah.
But man.
A man is right. I have a question for you. You're going to have to watch this over here because you haven't seen these videos. Actually, I did play one for you, but I want to know what you think is the most embarrassing quarterback moment out of 2 from this weekend. Okay. First one.
Oh my God, I saw this.
I got to play it again because everybody watch the center look at him. That's my favorite part. Watch the center. He's like, what the heck, man? What are you doing? I don't know if he was drunk or whatever, but then there was also
after
this.
halftime. I wonder if he's thinking 2 plays to get this yardage.
Now they got the bunch at the top of the screen. Now communication is imperative on the part of the Saints defense.
Miles Sanders having to push Bryce Young over because he was lined up over the guard, not the center. Get over.
Jordan Love, hands down, wins the most embarrassing moment for quarterbacks.
Yeah, I would have said that either way. Nick Fortune says Jordan Love, hands down as well. We got a couple questions. We'll do those real quick. Logan says, do I trade Ridley, Swift, and Ayuk for Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, and David Montgomery? Whew. That's a lot to unpack there.
I personally like keeping
Ridley?
Swift, and Ayuk.
I thought for sure you'd go the Devontae side because you're a Devontae fan. Mr. Devontae Adams, or was that with Carr throwing to him, not Jimmy G?
I mean, I like Devontae Adams, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I agree with you. I like Calvin Ridley. We don't know how long David Montgomery's going to miss, so that would scare me in that part of it. One start question here. Start Evan Engram, Hunter Henry, or Dallas Goedert. We gave Evan Engram out as a Hunter Henry. Yes.
Like, let's get this right here.
Yes, we gave Hunter Henry out as one of the top waiver pickups. And
he's tight end number 2 right now. No, is he tight end?
He's tight end number 2, and he seems to be Mac Jones's guy.
Yeah, there's some chemistry going on. Again, we've only seen 2 weeks of this, but it looks promising. And I had been off the Hunter Henry train, but now it's like he's looking really appealing to me. I'm liking Hunter Henry right now.
You're liking Hunter Henry right now. And Dallas Goedert. Just going to pull these guys up real quick. Target share not been the best for Henry.
No, but he's putting up the fantasy
But
points.
he is putting up the points. This isn't right. I have the wrong. I'm looking at the wrong stats here. Evan Engram has had a good target share too. Dallas Goedert, I mean, that first week, basically, I mean, he was a dud, 0 points. And then he picked it up a lot the second time. I think I've got to go with Hunter Henry here. I agree with you there. And Cody Zeeb, our resident Patriots fan, says only target Mac has. I mean, he does have Kendrick Bourne. Come on, Cody. But I
he's
agree.
the most, it seems to be like the most relevant target that Mac Jones has.
Yes.
They're making each other look good right now.
Agreed. Tingley checking in. Hey-o, how's it going? Nick Schwank, do you think I should start Kareem Hunt? I wouldn't yet. I want to see how that plays out. Now, I think, we heard all these rumors that he had like 4 offers from 5 of the teams
but he went
visited.
to all these visits and nothing came of them. Like, nothing came of them. I got into an argument on Sleeper. I thought I was on Twitter. I got a notification on my phone. I thought I was on X. Sorry. And normally it's X. I'm not saying X. I hate saying X. It's notifications from X. And I thought I was just getting onto some tweet. And it was actually Sleeper. And I was putting some stats out about
Jerome Ford.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Yeah, because somebody said something about like Hunt's average was like 4 point something or 5 point something yards per carry over his last 10 or so games. And if you take out the one 69-yard run
that Ford had,
take out that one play. Yes, I understand it's his best play. Take it out. His other 15 carries, he averaged 2.4 yards a carry.
Yeah,
something like that. It was 2 point something. I think it was 2.4. I don't have the data in front of me, but that is worse than Hunt's. And it was just this whole poll on who do you start, who's better, who's going to be the guy.
I remember you got quite heated because you came into my office and
because of a comment I got.
Yes, you were telling me about it, and then this person responded to you. Yes, if you take out all his good plays, all he has is bad plays or something.
He quotes me, and if you're listening, you pissed me off. You tagged me and quoted all of Jerome Ford's good plays were good plays, and all of his bad plays were bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, 1 out of 16 were good, and his 15 others, he did not have a good average on yards per carry.
Yep. Agreed.
I didn't say all of his good were good and all of his bad were bad. I was giving stats for people.
Kind of
comparing yards per carry. Sorry. I'll get off my soapbox.
Kind of answers Tingley's question of what do we think about Ford going forward with the Hunt signing. I mean, the team has said that it's Ford's backfield. I would just monitor it because, like Miranda just pointed out, we had that one big play, but other than that, Ford was inefficient. So which Ford shows up? Is he going to be able to make those big plays? It's going to be really interesting to see.
He had a lot of carries.
Right.
But if he's sharing time, sorry, I'm
trying to talk to
interrupting.
America here.
And I'm interrupting you. This is not the day to mess with me, Justin.
I guess. Well, if you want to get down on your bets, which you have about 30, 40 some more minutes, 55, I think, technically, to get down on your bets, where can they get down on their bets?
You can get down on your bets over at DraftKings. We are back with another week of football, and DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping us in on the NFL action with great offers every single game day. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Throw $5 down on any of this week's epic matchups to walk away an instant winner. And DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September.
And I think that one of the things I'm going to be going over to DraftKings before this game starts and taking is Christian McCaffrey first touchdown. Let's go. Now, last time I threw out a first touchdown, it was your boy Jamal Williams, and he got hurt before he could score.
Yeah.
So hopefully I did not just jinx Christian McCaffrey.
You don't have that kind of power, Justin.
But football is more fun when you're in on the action. So download the app now and sign up with code SGP. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. With code SGP, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Look, buying tickets shouldn't be stressful. And let's do things last minute. I mean, that's what we all like to do, right? That's what I like to do anyways. We like to do it last minute, and Game Time is perfect for that. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater near you with killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee. So you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you're going to have. And so I'll tell you what, one of the things I like best about Game Time is you don't have to be like Takeo Spikes and sit in front of a view that is blocked, because you can see what your seat is going to look like, get images of the seat before you buy so you know exactly what to expect. And they give back a guarantee. They're not giving this money out because they're giving bad pricing, but they do have a guarantee that says if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, they'll credit you 110% of the difference. They're only doing that because they know they have the best price. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds, 2 taps, and you're set. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CFBX and $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And we're back, and I already forgot to move our little whiskey ticker to Cam Akers.
Failing me.
So let's move it right on to the injury report. We just have a couple injuries. We're not going to spend as much time because we talked about these in depth on Monday. And also, I have to shout this out. Cody Zeeb said 69 yards. Nice. Probably shouldn't say that for Aiden. He says, why is that funny, Uncle Justin? I have tried to teach him to go nice after 69 multiple times. I've gotten scolded for it because, well, what if he's in school and they are counting? And I would laugh. I will get in trouble for that. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Miranda was talking to America when she was on her soapbox. And Nick Schwenk, my train of thought is Cleveland is going to be playing one of the weaker rushing defenses in the league. He knows the entire playbook, and Tennessee doesn't have film to prep for him. Feels like an easy sit, but I don't know. I would go with your gut. That's what I would do. I think I like sitting Kareem just to see how it all plays out. But sometimes you got to do those deep things to make big impacts. Use the I wish I could do the doodle all the database sounds of computing the noises. Let's talk about the injury report while I fumble over words.
Let's get this biggest one out of the way.
Yes.
Which is why we're talking about Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford. Nick Chubb out for the season, possibly career ending, because didn't he have this exact same injury?
He did in college. Well, we don't know.
Before?
I don't think they've said the extent of his injury right now, but in college, the same knee, he completely blew it out. The ACL, MCL, PCL, kneecap, everything. So this is unfortunate because you got to wonder if he's going to be able to come back and be the same player after injuring it the second time.
Do you want to risk injuring a third time?
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. That's so hard on the body.
I mean, I still wince when I see tree roots from breaking my ankle on a tree root. So, but I'm not as grown ass man as Nick Chubb is, and I'll admit it.
He's a grown ass man.
That's right.
Okay.
Couple quarterbacks that are injured. Joe Burrow dealing with that calf injury.
Mhm.
Anthony Richardson with a concussion, and Bryce Young, he is out. It sounds like Andy Dalton, the red rifle, will be
Can't
starting.
believe he's still around.
I know, right? Bears fans will tell you how good Andy Dalton is not. How about the running back injuries? Because there's been a slew of them.
Austin Eckler. This one pains me. It just pains me.
Yeah.
In my stack league, I have a league where I don't know what I was thinking, but it's doing well for me.
All Chargers.
Chargers stack. Aaron Jones, Kenneth Gainwell, David Montgomery.
Yeah. We don't know if any of them are going to play. I don't think David Montgomery is going to play.
Mhm.
But the other was, they're being kind of mums the word with it. Wide receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown has turf toe, I believe. I think he's going to play, though. Brandon Ayuk is officially out.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep. I just moved
I
him.
saw that. Christian Watson is trying to come back. He's not played all year because of a hamstring injury. And Jacoby Myers, it sounds like he's going to be back from that concussion that held him out last week.
Yes.
All right. And we had a couple of people that we already know for sure are going to be out. Bryce Young, I already said. What about running backs? Because I know there's one on there that hurts me.
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
Jamal Williams is out. Justice Hill. Justice Hill was we saw him be a huge pickup this last week.
Yeah. And now first they said he was out, and now I'm seeing maybe out, maybe not, but he's not practiced all week. I doubt he's going to be on there. Early last week, before we got to it, Deontay Johnson was put on injured reserve, so he's out at least 4 games for the Steelers. So you're going to see Pickens get more targets, I assume. And then tight end Logan Thomas is out with a concussion. Shout out to the chat, Swa. All right, I'm going to try to list this to you.
Okay.
Try to keep track. I know sometimes I go too fast, but the team is quarterback Justin Herbert, running backs Pollard, Gibbs. Yeah, write it down. There you go. Running back is Pollard and Gibbs. Wide receivers, Wilson and Olave. Tight end, Ertz. He also has Kyron Williams, Collins, Judy, Hollywood Brown, Hunt, Higbee, and Myers. Did I list them too quickly for you?
Yeah. Pollard and Gibbs, Wilson and Olave, Ertz,
Kyron Williams, Nico Collins, Jerry Judy.
I like the Nico.
Hollywood Brown, Hunt, Higbee, and Myers.
I think I missed one.
Let me look at your list here real quick. Or I'll just read it down. Herbert, Pollard, Gibbs, Wilson, Olave, Ertz, Kyron, Collins, Judy, Hollywood Brown, Hunt, Higbee, Judge Judy was offered ETN and AJ Brown. ETN, AJ Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins for Tony Pollard, Garrett Wilson, and Jacoby Myers. I'm 0-2. Should I accept? I would smash the accept button on that because I like ETN. I know he hasn't gotten going a ton this year, but he's going to.
He is.
And I love AJ Brown. And DeAndre Hopkins is always a kind of a wild card with Ryan Tannehill throwing, but I like his value. So I think that's a good trade for you.
Appealing. And who is he trading for?
Trading away Tony Pollard, Garrett Wilson, and Jacoby Myers.
I like that.
Yep, I do as well. Thanks for submitting that, or I guess not submitting it, typing it. Smash that. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about we're going to go into start sit, right? But I want to talk a little bit about what we did right, because we got to tout what we do right.
Let's pat ourselves on the back here in a minute.
So I got a nice little graphic on the screen, as you can see.
Ooh.
But I'll go through our starts. You can go through our sits. But for our starts, we said Gus Edwards. He was projected 5.4. He got 12.2. Jordan Addison, you nailed that one. You said between 14 and 15 points, not the 9.7.
14.7.
14.7.
Basically in the middle of my prediction.
That's right. Tank Dell, I said they came out and said they were going to get him more involved. Boy, did it they. He led the team in targets, was projected 5.5, got 16.7. Kylan Granson continues to get touchdowns. I know he's not really relevant outside that. He's touchdown dependent, but relevant in deeper leagues. He was projected 4, got 9.1. That's the second time that he's scored a touchdown. And of course, Hunter Henry projected 6.4, got 14.2. how about our sits that we nailed? Because those were some good starts.
They were good starts. We said to sit Brock Purdy. He was projected 17.4. He came in at 14.7. Deion Jackson was another one of our sits. He was projected 8.2. He got 0. Dalvin Cook projected 9.2, got negative 0.3. Ouch. We told everybody to sit him. And Kyle Pitts, which shouldn't be a surprise that we would tell you to sit him. He was projected 7.6 and only got 2.5.
Yeah, so you can still see it on the screen there. We did pretty good. I mean, we doubled some of our starts, and some of the sits were complete duds. So if you listened, it did pay off. Now, while we're talking fantasy football, let's talk a little bit of pick 'em and doing a little higher lower. And you can go play that at Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. And breaking news, from now until October 4th, Underdog is matching 100% of first deposits up to $500. That's a lot of extra cash. Deposit $500, you get $1,000. And they have $100,000 Sundays continuing. Total of $2 million in prizes all season long. $100K in prizes this week. $10K to 10 people this week. I already saw the list of last week. I was not on it, unfortunately. New sweepstakes every week of NFL season. This week's higher lower is Tyreek Hill receiving yards 91.5. I am going to go lower, surprisingly, because I think Waddle's going to get those yards. I think they're going to do a good job at trying to limit Tyreek Hill. So even if you're wrong, you still have a chance to win 10K. Watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with promo code SGP on Underdog, will double your first deposit up to $500 until October 4th. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bets' revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven plays. You owe it to yourself. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning for Hall of Fame Bets. It's going to pay for itself.
Now, back to old-fashioned football.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Jim Miller. If you didn't know, it was old Jim Miller, the former quarterback of the Bears. Is Josh O'Kelly worth starting this week? Excellent question, Amon. It's all dependent on if Eckler plays. If Eckler is not playing, I would start Josh Kelly. I know he had a bad week last week and did not meet expectations, but I think he'll do all right. I think he'll do better this week. So I would start him if Eckler is not playing. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's talk a little starts.
Let's do it.
Do you want to kick it off or would you like me to?
I'll kick it off. I'll kick
Alrighty.
this off with quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield is who I'm going to throw out there.
The guy that just looked good against the Bears.
Yes. And that's maybe not why I'm throwing him out there, but he's projected 15.2.
Mm-hmm.
Baker has scored above this twice against two bad defenses in Minnesota and Chicago. And now they face an Eagles defense that has lost two major starts in their defense.
Yeah.
Their defensive backfield. I think this is going to be a little tougher for him this week, but I think that he's going to keep slinging the ball. And I think that he can exceed the 15.2.
Yeah, no, I like that. Eagles lost Avonte Maddox in last week's game.
Mm-hmm.
That was another big loss for them.
So their defense is just, is that three major?
2 or 3. Yeah. Well, because Nakobe Dean as well, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's at least 3 big playmakers for them.
Their defense is hurting.
Yeah, they didn't look that good to begin with. I didn't think the first couple weeks here. I mean, they let Mac Jones torch them in week 1 and almost lost that game. And we all know McCorkle is not the best quarterback. Anyways, I'm going to go with Derek Carr.
You're like, let's move on before I get slammed for this.
Right. I'm going to throw out Derek Carr, projected 14.6. I know if you drafted Carr, you've been disappointed. I know that because I did draft Carr in some super flex leagues, and I have been disappointed. But this week he plays the Packers, who just let Desmond Ridder, the quarterback who barely throws it because they run the crud out of the ball, but they let him score 21.38 points.
21 points.
And Carr's better than Ridder, in my opinion. I don't know if everybody's going to agree with that, but Carr is better. I think he has a couple of touchdowns in this game. He's only had one all year. So this is going to be his first game with multiple touchdowns, in my opinion. He's going to get one to Olave and one to Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is going to get a touchdown. Book it. Bet. So Derek Carr over 14.6. Start him. I know you probably have better options, but if you don't, maybe you got Joey B.
Flex.
Yeah.
Or I have Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I have a better backup, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't though, and he's out there, he might be somebody worth looking at because you don't know if Burrow's going to play Monday night, and it's hard hoping that he's going to play, and then you hit Monday and he's not. All right, let's talk about running backs.
All right, I'm gonna throw this out. Okay. Rashawn Johnson.
Oh, a homer pick.
I know. So he's currently projected 7.3 points, and reports are saying that before long, Rashawn could be the starting running back. How dare you? But I like that noise.
I know you do.
for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, that Khalil Herbert might not be the starter for long, and that it would be RJ.
Yeah, he seems to be their pass catching option that they put in when they're behind. I feel like we're gonna maybe be
behind against the Chiefs.
yeah. I definitely expect us to be behind playing the Chiefs.
For some reason, Kramer thinks the Bears are going to pull this one out.
So we couldn't beat the Packers. We couldn't beat Tampa.
The Fields hater Kramer thinks that the Bears are going to pull this out. Did you know that Elon Musk bought Twitter in October of 2022?
Yeah, I remember when that all went down.
Yeah.
Why?
Do you know how many teams have not won a game since Elon Musk bought Twitter in 2022?
How many?
One. The Bears. Sad times to be a Bears fan. I'm going to throw out Gary Brightwell tonight.
Damn it.
I know. I just had to, I saw that online, had to throw it out. I'm going to throw out Gary Brightwell. I already kind of made my case for him on the waivers. However, everybody's going for Breida with Saquon being out. And I think Breida's going to be their pass catching guy. I don't disagree with that, but I think Brightwell is going to out carry him. I think he's going to have more carries. It's just a hunch. And I think he's going to get any red zone looks. Now, that's hoping that they get a red zone look against that 49ers defense, which is pretty damn good. But I like Brightwell. 4.8 points is not a lot of points, and I think he's going to get opportunities. So I'm going with that. Should we move on to wide receivers?
Yes.
Okay.
We should.
As the dog sneezes and growls over there. You want to kick it off?
Yeah, and this one, if you're gonna start him, got to make a decision quickly here. Jalen Hyatt is projected 3.4 points. Jones relied on Hyatt for some big plays last week. The 49ers are gonna put pressure on the Giants, and they're going to have to throw the ball. He had 89 yards last week, and I think he's gonna have over 40 this week.
Yeah, which would
this is probably if you're in deeper leagues, flex spot.
I'm in a league where the starting roster is quite deep, so I'm in
one of those too this year, and it's like
I'm going to throw
painful.
Hyatt in there.
It's weird. I'm adjusting to some of my new leagues this year.
Or if you're in a guillotine where you have 18 people you had to draft, and maybe you've not been able to get players that you put bids in on.
I need to not to go down a rabbit hole here, but I need to throw this out there. We've had Fab in multiple leagues in the past, but it's been like a lower, like $100 budget, just cheap Fab. I'm in several leagues this year where the Fab is $1,000, and I'm too cheap.
I know.
I didn't get any of my waivers in a couple leagues this week, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I went to see what the winning bid was, and I was just like, okay, I'm like
I got
out
one.
of my element there.
I got one. I can't say the league or how much I spent. I don't think I can give any details. Yeah, the secret league that you can't know about, but I did get a wide receiver that I was pretty stoked to get. So it's a guy that Cody really likes. So Cody, you'll like that.
And I will say, like, when we're giving out some of our waivers and we're like 5 or 10%, I'm not talking even necessarily about these, like in our guillotine league.
Mm-hmm.
The team who got chopped and then all their players are out. I will say this last week's team, I don't want to be dissing people.
Sucked.
It wasn't that great, but I still thought, I could put in a waiver because I didn't get all the waivers I wanted the week before. I could put in a waiver for somebody, and the price he went was like, it is week 2.
Right.
I guess later on.
If you get chopped week 3.
I'm doing great in that. I am towards the top for high scoring. I'm fine.
Sure.
I'm fine.
I know. I'm just saying.
I thought, okay, fine. I'm going to sit on my money, wait a few weeks when some really good teams are getting chopped, and then I'll have the money to get who I want.
There you go.
That's my strategy now.
All right. You did get down a rabbit hole, so I'm going to push it forward here, pull us from the rabbit hole, and I'm going to say start Jaden Reed. He's only projected 7.3. He was targeted 13 times last week. Now, I know Christian Watson is coming back. Supposedly, he will be back, but on his 13 targets, he caught 6 of those for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love showed that he really liked throwing to this guy. It's going to be a tough game against the Saints, but I think he's Love's favorite target right now, even if Watson does come back. So I like him to eclipse that 7.3.
All right, I'm going to throw somebody out there again as a start.
Yeah. Is this
what?
Go ahead. Who was it?
Jordan Addison.
3rd time for Addison. Why are they projecting him so
low? I don't know.
Low?
He's projected 9.1, and
which is slightly higher than last week, right?
I think. I don't remember we just said it.
We just flashed it on the screen, and
I know he got 14.7. That's
it was 9.7. He went down.
Okay, he's going down in his projection. So he's projected 9.1. I'm gonna say keep starting him.
Yeah.
He got 14.7 last week. He's got 5 or more targets in each game, over 60 yards in each game, and a touchdown in each game so far. The Chargers are bad against the pass.
Yes.
And they'll do everything they can to stop Justin Jefferson. Teams can't do that, but Addison can take advantage, of.
Yeah, there's no stopping Justin Jefferson, but you can try. And Addison's taking advantage of that single coverage for sure.
So I think he's going to be, he got 14.7 last week. I'm going to say he's going to be above 15 this week. That's my prediction.
All right. Getting even more.
I'm
like
just going to say that.
You hit it last week. His
projection went lower.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say he's going to get above
more.
15.
I like it.
I don't know.
I did start to interrupt you when you're talking Jordan Addison. And if you did not join us on Monday, and if you're listening on the pod, make sure you check out youtube.com/old-fashioned football. I forgot that you
intentional grounding, offense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. I'm talking to America here. Excuse me. It's a 10-yard penalty and a long.
Forgot you were talking to America here. My apologies.
That is just so funny. I love that ref. Who is that ref?
I don't know. We'll have to find that out. I don't remember his name, but I'm talking to America here. That was pretty
the best.
Good. Let's talk about tight ends. Do you want to start or you want me to?
I'm gonna start.
All right.
I got this.
All right.
Sam Laporta.
Oh, your Iowa boy.
Well, and here's the thing. Like I like Sam Laporta. I tried to get him in as many dynasty leagues, keeper leagues as I could because I think he has a great future. But this week I am saying he's a start. He is projected 7.3. He has had 5 catches in each game. His snap count went up in week 2, and I think he's going to be in the field over 90% of the plays in week 3.
Yeah.
This week,
he doesn't get pulled much. That's for sure. Because he can block.
Yeah. And this feels like the week that Laporta gets in the end zone.
Okay.
And
yeah, he's not done that
yards,
yet.
50 or 5 yards. 5 catches, 50 yards. And a touchdown? I don't know.
Right.
I just think he's going to do better than what he's projected this week.
So 13 and a half PPR league is your prediction.
Let's write that down. That's
All
what
right.
I just threw out, I guess.
Bet, right?
Yeah. 13.5.
Yeah, I read a stat that out of all rookie tight ends, he's got the highest pass blocking percentage as well. So even on passing downs where he doesn't have a route, they're keeping him on the field. And so when your player is on the field, you're more likely to accrue points. This one was answered in the chat, but Luke, thanks for joining us. Ayuk or Puka at flex. Ayuk is out. They've announced that he is officially out, and I think Puka is a stardom until further notice. That guy has done amazing things, and 25 targets over 2 games, so definitely stardom. My tight end, don't laugh at me here, Taysom Hill. Projected 7
He's a
points.
versatile player.
He's a very versatile player. Projected 7.1 points, and after Jamal Williams went out in that game, Taysom Hill ran for 75 yards. So I think they're going to continue to use him in the run game. He's probably going to have a reception or 2. He always seems to. He threw the ball last week too, only for 8 yards, but that could always end up being a touchdown. And I know Tony Jones did get the goal line carries, but I think Hill gets a couple this game. And it feels like that random game where he just has a boom game, gets a lot of points. So somewhere I wanted to say like 20 points, but I'll be modest and say 14 to 15. I'm not going to go crazy. Well, you remember last year he had somewhere like he would have 2 and then he'd have 40 or something stupid.
Boom is rare.
Rarely.
Great. I really like Taysom Hill. He's an exciting player. It's just he's not reliable.
Yeah. Not every week. I think with Jamal Williams
I think your analysis here is good. I don't know. It's disappointing. Taysom Hill, he can do everything.
Right.
And I wish that he was utilized more in a way that resulted in fantasy points.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that.
For those of you who are going to sit Ayuk, I mean, you should sit Ayuk. He's out. But you don't have much time.
Right. Exactly.
Get him on your bench fast.
Speaking of sits, we are going to switch to sits, but we got one question we're going to answer here. Malachi says Brian Robinson or Joe Mixon. Man, Brian Robinson has been.
He's looked good.
It's okay. You put Brian Robinson. I knew you meant Brian. No worries, Malachi. I do stuff like that all the time. Don't sweat it. Brian Robinson has looked very good. And I could see a scenario where Washington actually controls kind of the narrative of that game. So I like starting Brian Robinson. My concern with Joe Mixon is if Burrow is out, they're just going to focus on stopping Joe Mixon and make the team beat them and pass. Yeah. So I would be concerned about that. And I would go ahead and go with Brian Robinson. If you have to choose between the two, if you're able to get 2 of them, I mean, or both of them, that'd be great too. Nick Fortune can't wait for the 49ers game to start. Ready for 3-0 for the 49ers. You should hit up Kramer right now and see if you can make a bet with him. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. ASD AFG Hop says pick 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers. So the running backs are Hall, Ford, and Gainwell. Gainwell scares me with how well DeAndre Swift did. Gainwell's coming back from that rib injury. They might limit him anyways because there's no point in him hurting when Swift looks so good. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be cautious there.
Yeah, I would be cautious of Gainwell. At least see what it's going to look like with Swift and Gainwell both kind of getting the rock.
I know, like they just signed Hunt, but I still think Ford start Ford right now.
Okay,
and that's what I would do. There, yeah. Forward. So are we saying Hall and Ford?
Hall and Ford was my pick. You agree?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the wide receivers pick 2: Jacoby Myers, Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin, and Brandon Cooks. Why don't you pick one and I'll pick one? I'll let you go first. Ladies first.
Well, I said to start Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
So I'm picking Godwin. They looked good.
You stole mine, but I 100% agree. My other one, I'm going to go. I don't know if Brandon Cooks is going to play, and Jacoby Myers coming back from that concussion did look good. But yeah, I'm going to go with Scary Terry. He has been the number 1 target for Sam Howell, and that offense has looked better than I expected. So, yeah, I would start Terry McLaurin and you would start Chris Godwin. So those are the 2 we picked. Let's talk about some sitting.
All right, I'm going to kick us off here too.
Kick it off.
I mentioned him last week. He was on my sit list last week. He's on my sit list this week.
You about said shit list, didn't you?
I don't know what I about said, but let's just keep rolling.
All right.
Brock Purdy. He is projected 18.1. He plays tonight, guys, so we need to get through these.
Yeah.
If we have any more. his projected points, they keep going up
Yeah.
while he continues to miss the mark. No, and I was gonna say something about us, so I'm just not. I'm I'm losing some steam here. I've had a long day.
It's all right. We can do this.
He had 16.8 week 1 against the Steelers, 14.7 against the Rams. Yeah, the Giants are an easier defense than them, but the 49ers' success is running the ball.
Yeah.
And keeping Purdy right around that 200 yards. I just
Yeah,
don't see
that's
him
about
getting
where he's been.
18.1.
He hasn't
on my
yet,
sit list.
right?
I have Brock Purdy in one of my leagues, and he is on my bench.
Yeah, absolutely. My sit is Geno Smith, projected 16.8. Look, I know he looked great last week against the Lions. He went crazy against them, just like he did last year against the Lions. But he goes against the second best defense against quarterbacks in Carolina. They've been really tough, and they've not allowed one quarterback to go over 10 points. Geno and the Seahawks passing attack is better than the first two, which were Ritter and Carr. But I think the defense is pretty legit for Carolina, and I don't see Geno breaking 16. So he's on my sit list. Do you think I should start Baker over Trevor Lawrence? I don't, only because Trevor Lawrence is a stud, and
you start your studs.
Yeah, and I just heard today that the Texans' top defensive back, Derek Stingley, is out with an injury.
Ooh,
and
that
it
makes
sounds
them
like it might be out for the season, and they're already struggling on defense there. So that will hurt them. Any stock on Kendra Miller? I have kind of kicked around picking him up in a couple leagues just to see what he does. However, once Kamara comes back, I don't know if he has any value this year. Now, maybe going forward, if you're in a dynasty league, absolutely. But I don't know if he's going to have the value this year, and he's just coming back from that injury. So I would not start him for sure this week. Let's talk about running backs to sit. Put them on the bench if you can.
Okay.
That's the big deal.
And
If you can sit people, if you have no other options, don't just sit these people randomly.
No. This is all right. So James Conner.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm. He's projected 12.1 points. He has been pretty good for the Cardinals, but this week he faces the Dallas Cowboys, who just got done holding Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook to just 16 yards.
Gross.
Yeah. Yuck. The week before that, it was Saquon with only 51 yards. So this makes me hesitant for starting James Conner. He's had a surprisingly good year so far. Like I said, he's been looking good.
Yeah.
He's currently the 13th ranked running back, but he's got a really tough matchup against these Cowboys. So if you can, I would look elsewhere this week. If you have shares in James Conner.
I keep forgetting in our family league to I know not everybody's as hardcore as us. I keep forgetting to tell them to set their lineups. So if
My
you saw
dad
me
needs a
over
reminder.
Here, does he? Okay.
Well, no, my mom's on it.
Yeah.
My mom should be on that.
They do. I think they do it together too. I think because your mom is on it. She told me how she had like all these graphs and stuff that she made with the points of what people got last week versus what they should have gotten and everything. She's diving in.
She is.
Now, I don't know if you saw.
Proud daughter moment. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but she was 2-0 after beating me. And somehow there was a score adjustment this morning, which is a really late score adjustment.
Yeah.
But it took a point from her and added a point to me, which gave me the win. I looked and could not find anything that made rhyme or reason on ESPN. They list their stat corrections and nothing looked like it affected our game. So I don't know if it's glitched. I went ahead and told her that I think it was glitched, and I gave
That's weird.
I manually adjusted it, being the nice son-in-law I am.
That's major son-in-law points. That's weird. Like, so
Oh, she's in the chat. She did say she's on it, but yeah, hopefully it was weird. It took a point from her and gave me a point. Didn't the Cowboys just lose one of their best defensive players? Yeah, Diggs out for the season, it sounds like, with a torn ACL, I believe. So that definitely sounds bad. Cody says ESPN sucks.
We know, Cody. We know your opinions.
Bronson saying Hayden Hurst or Taysom Hill. I like Taysom Hill this week. He was on my stardom list. If you're just joining us, I gave him out as a start a little bit ago. I think he's going to get a lot of their carries, and I'd like him to get in the end zone this week. So I like Taysom Hill. Though I could also see Andy Dalton connecting with Hayden Hurst because he is a vet and he knows how to get off on dump off. So
he knows how to what?
He knows how to get off on dump offs, I said, but he knows how to do little dump off passes to the tight end. Going crazy. Don't mind me. My sit running back, I see some more questions. We will get to those soon. My sit running back is Javonte Williams, 12.5 points. Miami's not great against the run, so I understand that it looks like a juicy matchup, but Denver's offense is weird. They've not been that good. He has yet to hit 12.5 points. He had 7.7 against Las Vegas and 6.8 against Washington. Now, they were ahead of Washington at 1 point, 21-3, so they should have been pounding the rock. Yet he only had 12 carries the whole game. Against the 30th ranked Raiders, he only had the 7 points. So I would be cautious. I would be cautious with Javonte Williams. I realize if you have him, it's probably difficult to sit him, but just be cautious. If you have a better option, go for it. And one other guy, just to throw this out there.
Well, we've been talking about him.
Yeah.
Jerome Ford. Were you going to bring up Jerome Ford?
Yeah, that's just one other guy I'd be cautious about. We already kind of talked about that. But like you said earlier, 69-yard run. And after that, or aside from that, 2.5 yards per carry, which is not great. So I don't know which one's going to show up. So I know a lot of people blew their fab on it, but just be cautious.
But if you don't have other options, or depending on who your options are, I do think he is like, I don't know.
Also, chat, when you see everybody asking questions, feel free to chime in. I'm sure y'all have some opinions as well, so they don't have to just take ours, but let's go. Oops, sorry, I missed. Let's go Javier first. Bench one, Josh Kelly, James Cook, Brian Robinson. He's got Eckler, but he's injured. Also Goddard or Laporta. So I would bench Josh Kelly because I think James Cook and Brian Robinson are really good.
I like Brian Robinson for sure. I would start Laporta.
And then Laporta over Goddard. Yeah, that's tough, but he is your stardom tight end. So, yeah.
So I have to.
I think I would think you're good either way. I know you're probably looking for who's going to get the most points. Throw a flyer on Laporta. And then I apologize if I pronounce this wrong. Keoko? Non-PPR, 10-man, need a flex between Dameon Pierce, Chris Godwin, or Nico Collins. What do you think? I think Dameon Pierce has been a little inefficient in that Texans offense.
Nico?
I'm going to go Nico.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
You were going to go Godwin?
I don't know. I love Nico right now.
Yeah.
He's looking great.
Yeah. Would you try Kyron?
I think I think Godwin's going to have a good game.
Yeah.
But that's hard to sit Nico.
It is with how he's been, though it is non-PPR, so yeah,
it's not
Nico's
1998 anymore, Cody.
Yeah, switch to sleeper. It's not 1998 anymore. Isn't that a name of a Taylor Swift album or something? Who's allegedly dating Travis Kelce? Did she have some that 1990?
They're not dating.
Allegedly.
No, they're not dating.
He shot his shot. One more question and we'll get to our wide receivers. Would you trade Kyron Williams and Zach Charbonnet for Josh Jacobs? I would, because I'm still not sold on Kyron Williams.
You're
even
not
though he's
sold on him. It's only been a couple weeks, though. That's hard. I like Josh Jacobs, though.
Right.
I think
that's why I would do it. If it's Dynasty, I would not. I would keep because you have Charbonnet. But if this is just a redraft, I kind of like Josh Jacobs. Everybody in the chat, answer those questions. Give your opinions. Even if they're different from ours, that's fine. Everybody's got different opinions. Let's talk wide receivers that we're sitting.
Okay.
You want to kick it off? You want me to?
I'm going to kick it off.
Okay.
T. Higgins. He's projected. Ooh. He's projected 11.9. This is a little. No, I don't know. I think I'm trying to remember everything I want to say here. I'm sorry.
Well, Ixnay on the Higgins hay because I've offered him in trades to people in the family league. So you should. He's a really good player.
No,
Yes, he is. Don't say no.
He's. I'm just stumbling. I am sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. T. Higgins. He's projected 11.9. after Chase has had a bit of a disappointing start, I think they'll look to get him more and more involved.
I think so too.
I think this is going to hinder Higgins some.
Yeah.
So I think.
And we don't know if Joe Burrow's playing.
No.
That's another big thing.
I think so. This might be a little dependent on Joe Burrow. I think this is a sit, maybe if if Joe Burrow's out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. And
I think if Joe Burrow is out, this is a sit.
Yeah, and they don't play till Monday, so it's hard to leave him in wondering, is Burrow going to play or not? So yeah, I agree with that one. I'm going to say George Pickens. I know everybody is huge on Pickens. He's projected 11.6. He's coming off 10 targets, 4 catches for 127 yards and a touchdown, but over 50 of those were on one play. The Steelers didn't have a single down inside the Browns' 30-yard line. Not a single play inside the Browns' 30-yard line. That is insane. They were also outgained, even though they won the game. Vegas's defense is not as good as the Browns. I get that, but I'm not counting on them to have 11 points in a half PPR league. I think that they're going to try to get either Najee Harris or Jaylen Warren going, and they're going to spread the ball around a little bit more. I don't trust Pickett and Pickens right now, even though I heavily invested in both of them in my fantasy football leagues, and it is costing me in some of those leagues.
Should we move on to tight ends? I do have a tight end sit.
Mom backing us up. Cody, they had to do an ESPN for Family League because we are newbies to actually playing fantasy football.
Cody's not talking about our family.
Yeah,
league.
He's in a league that we run that's also on ESPN.
It's been an ESPN for a lot, but I think we're going to take it to a vote.
Probably since before Sleeper was even born.
It was before Sleeper was born. Sleeper was not around when I got into fantasy football.
Right. Yeah.
When we were engaged.
Yeah.
Sleeper wasn't around.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm not that old, but
it's not that old.
Sleeper wasn't around. My sit tight end this week probably is going to be no surprise. Kyle Pitts. He's projected 7.5.
Yeah.
He's going to stay on my sit list until he does something. But even then, he's Kyle Pitts to me right now, and he's in the pit.
We have no passion.
No passion for that. Flame burned out last year for Justin. But even when he does something, I don't know if he's going to keep doing something good. I'm going to have to see some consistency at doing something good. So I don't expect him to get the 7.5 points he's projected. He has a combined 7.9 points in the last 2 games. So I would look at other tight ends. Yeah. That's just what I would do there. Sit him.
Let's do the mailroom real quick before we get people out of here because the game is about to start and we want all of you to go watch the game. Yeah, we're pushing it always. Listener Albert Musquiz, I'm sorry, I might have mispronounced your name, says Jerry Jeudy at Miami or Michael Thomas at Green Bay. He's wrestled with Michael Thomas a couple different weeks here, which I completely understand. We're just waiting for him to get hurt because unfortunately he does get hurt. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you have any?
Miami is 4th against receivers.
Yeah.
Right now. Okay. And then hold on here. Jeudy has been targeted. He was targeted 19% of the targets last week. He got 19% of the targets last week. Let me make that make sense.
And didn't play week 1. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thomas has been targeted north of 20% on average. And I don't know. What are your thoughts here?
So Green Bay, they're like 7th against the pass, but they've played Chicago and Atlanta. Not exactly hot passing attacks. I don't know if I trust Denver's offense right now at all. I know they put up a lot of points last week against Washington, but Jeudy didn't get a lot of those points. It was kind of interesting that he did not accrue a lot, even though he had 19% of the target share. I'm going to go with Michael Thomas. I think he's going to be good this year as long as he stays healthy. Of course, that was never his talent was never the question, I guess. Hunter Johnson, should I accept this trade? I'm getting Josh Jacobs for Jahmyr Gibbs. I know you like Jahmyr Gibbs. If this is a rest of season and not a dynasty, though, or like a redraft and not a dynasty,
I like it.
I like Josh Jacobs.
If this is a dynasty league, I don't know. I like it,
If
but
it's Dynasty, I would
Jahmyr
keep
Gibbs
Jahmyr.
has value in Dynasty.
Yeah. And sportsgamblingpodcast.com. I have my trade value charts out there. They're not an exact science. I wouldn't this is the Holy Bible that I'm going by, but definitely kind of help you weigh some of those trades. They assign a point value to different people, and we have a dynasty one and a redraft one. A lot of data goes into it, so they at least can kind of give you an idea or a start. But we both kind of like Josh Jacobs. Jahmyr Gibbs, he's not paid off so far. If it's dynasty, I would keep him, but as soon as David Montgomery comes back, I think David Montgomery is still going to be a big part of that offense. Let's get to some Twitter questions. Would you trade Jaylen Warren and Roschon Johnson for Waddle? If you're getting Waddle, I say absolutely.
Waddle.
Depending on your running back depth, I guess. But those are not in-demand running backs right now. So if you're getting Waddle for that.
They did say Rashawn.
I know. And Warren has looked good over Najee. I mean, he's been the guy kind of catching more passes and has looked more efficient. But it's Waddle, right?
Mm-hmm. But Waddle.
Yeah, but Waddle. Let's fly through these because the game is starting. Are you higher on Alexander Mattison or Miles Sanders?
Well, with them just getting Cam Akers, I don't know. So
yeah, no, I think you're right on the track of what I was going to say.
Yeah, they brought in Cam Akers.
Doesn't show a lot of confidence. I mean, I know they didn't give up much, but still, you had Alexander Mattison, you had Ty Chandler, you had a blanket on the other guy's name, and you still brought in Cam Akers to the same guy that he used to be his offensive coordinator. So
that says something to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that says something. And well, Hubbard has been involved. Sanders is still their guy. So for me here, I feel like I'm higher on Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I'm just answering a question right here. I guess I can just throw it up here. Whoopsies. Clicking too many buttons. Trade away Jaden Reed for Jaylen Warren. Need more running back depth. Great at wide receiver. I think if it's PPR, it's an absolute smash. And if it's just a redraft, not dynasty, I definitely would do that. Mason Law says, is Cooper and Rashad White for Jacobs a good trade? I would keep Cooper and White. Rashad White is surprisingly looked pretty good. And then Amari Cooper is the number one target for Deshaun Watson. As bad as Deshaun Watson is, that is worth some points. So I kind of like keeping Cooper and White. Do you agree, or do you think smash for Josh Jacobs because he is the dominant running back?
I don't know. He is dominant there.
I think end of season, Amari Cooper and Rashad White are going to score you more points than Josh Jacobs, like those two combined. So I think if you're starting both of them, it doesn't make sense. If one of them is on your bench, then maybe it makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying there?
I think I followed you.
So if Amari Cooper and Rashad White are both in your starting lineup, trading them for Josh Jacobs is going to hurt your lineup as a whole.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you have a lineup that's solid enough where you're not starting both of them. Okay. Yeah. I got you, Justin. I got you.
Blue Crew, great show. I like straight to the point answer. Yeah, sorry we didn't get too much into the depth there. Just trying to fly through these so we can get you all to the game. Don't forget to hit subscribe, smash the like button. That helps us a lot. You were saying, I think, Miles Sanders. I don't know if I let you finish. You did. Okay. I couldn't remember because I was looking at the chat here. I agree with that.
And I think it is because they brought in Cam Akers. Had they, I think it shows that they're not confident. And then you mentioned the coordinator piece of that.
Yep.
And Sanders is still their guy.
Got a lot of Waddle questions here. Would you trade Ramondre and Drake London to get Jalen Waddle and Miles Sanders? Man, I think it depends on your running back depth, but I like getting Waddle.
I don't know. Waddle is just so appealing.
Yeah, that offense has looked great. Miami is going to throw the ball a lot, and Jalen Waddle's a big part of that. He's a playmaker. I know he's not Tyreek Hill, but he's still a huge playmaker. He's better than Drake London by far.
I know we were just talking about Miles Sanders, but I like Ramondre.
I do like Ramondre better. So this is almost even, in my opinion. It's pretty even, especially if you have good running backs elsewise and need some wide receiver help. Because you get a little downgrade at running back. You get a little boost at
Yeah,
wide
I do
receiver.
think this is a fair trade.
Yeah. And do you value Olave more than Waddle? Another Waddle question. I don't. I like Chris
Waddle
Olave.
has looked better.
Yeah. It's been 2 weeks. Don't overreact. But that offense
is on fire.
Well, I was going to say.
I'm talking about Miami.
Right.
That offense has been on fire. The Saints. I value Waddle there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Start 2, Lockett versus Carolina, Olave versus Jair Alexander, and Nico Collins versus Jacksonville. That Carolina defense has been too good, so I have to go with Olave and Nico Collins. I know Jair Alexander has been very good at shutting wide receivers down, but I got to go with Olave and Nico Collins there. Thanks for that. Backdoa. Hopefully I said it right. I always feel bad if I pronounce it wrong. I know it's not a big deal, but I want to pronounce your names right. One last question. This one is from Reddit. Flex, Mike Williams or George Pickens? Thoughts?
In the flex spot.
We already kind of, I sat George Pickens in my sit-ems.
Mm-hmm. Williams has a much better quarterback going against the Vikings, who are 21st in points allowed to receivers.
True. And Pickens has Pickett, and that offense, I know they had one big play last week, but otherwise that offense has not looked good. They've not looked very fluid.
And Mike Williams he just got 33% of the target share in week 2, 24% in week 1.
Yeah. He's targeted often. That offense is moving it. Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator, is great. I love Kellen Moore. If you've listened to us before, you know I love Kellen Moore because I love Boise State, and he was the Boise State Bronco quarterback when I started following him.
Sorry, not to interrupt you.
You're fine.
Flexing Williams.
Yeah, I agree. Williams over Pickens. Throw this one on here for you to talk about. Are you all in on Kyren Williams? Because I have been against him, and maybe it is just because I drafted Cam Akers in so many leagues. Sometimes I get vendettas against players just like I have against Robert Woods for years. So what do you think? I mean, he's done very well far as getting fantasy football points.
He's appealing to me, and we were discussing Kyren Williams the other night, and I equated it to you and your Bobby Tree. Robert Woods.
Right.
Robert Woods had this is just you just have an issue. You tend to pick certain players, and I kind of feel like Kyren Williams is this player who is good and has value that you're just down on for no reason that makes sense.
I also don't like watching him run. He does not look like a good runner.
But he
falls into the end zone. I understand that, but yeah, no.
Who are you to critique how somebody runs?
Give it one more week because I'm definitely not an excellent runner.
You're not a runner. He's getting the job done.
That's fair. I would like to see it one more week. If he has another good week, I will get on the Kyren Williams train. Fair?
Fair.
All right. Bet. I guess. Bet.
So I don't know if that really answered your question.
Hopefully,
but I am optimistic about him.
Yes. Hopefully it answered your question. Do you got anything else you want to add?
No, a game has started.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Smash
it.
Yeah.
I'm getting into the smashing.
I need to steal the smash soundbite from the guys. Smash the subscribe button, hit the likes. That all helps us. Thank you for joining. Thank you for asking your questions. We appreciate that.
It's fun. I have fun when people ask us all these questions.
And we have been a little rapid fire. We tried to keep this one moving along. You didn't have any whiskey, but mine is gone. Going once, going twice.
Sold.
Old-fashioned football.